What's up everyone? So we are back with another video. Today I'm going to be pretty much just working on the block because as you can see, my car is in here. Right now it's actually getting a roll cage at my friend John's place. So next video we'll be going over there and actually doing an update on it so you guys can see how it's going. Alright, so sorry there's a delay in the videos too. It's been like a month since I put one out. I was actually interning with Odi Bakchis at Fuel Suspension. So I was helping him pretty much set up people's coilovers and stuff and then work on the Pro car a little bit. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, but I haven't worked on the car at all without you guys, so don't worry, I'm not like skipping over anything and you guys will still be able to see how I do everything. Also, the garage is kind of a mess. I have a bunch of parts in here that need to go together, so right now they're all laying out. And I have like Odie's fenders over there that I had to pick up for him, and I still gotta give them to him, so yeah, there's just kind of like crap everywhere. Alright, so putting heads on an LS, it's pretty straightforward. You're pretty much just gonna put the head gasket down, put the head on, and then you're gonna torque everything down a certain way and in a certain pattern, which I'll go over once I start doing it. But it's nice because you don't lose timing taking the heads off or anything like that, so if you're ever at the track and something happens, you're able to rip. Alright, so I'll do this side first. So pretty much just gonna start by laying down the head gasket. One of the dowel pins is actually stuck in the head itself, so this doesn't want to stay on there. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it in place as I set the head down. So before I actually am going to tighten these down, I'm going to pull the ones out that I put in already. I'm going to oil these up a little bit just so they go in a little bit easier, especially because these are going to be torqued down pretty tight, so you don't want it to get some resistance and possibly snap the bolt, because that's a big issue with putting on heads, and it's not fun to fix that. Now I'm just pretty much gonna take them down with just a regular ratchet until they're almost seated. Okay, so I have these bolts pretty far down. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up on the screen basically the pattern of what you're gonna be doing, and then I'll talk through it a little bit. So you guys can pretty much just pause it in a second and use this to reference on when you're working on it. Another thing is, these are just the OEM torque to yield bolts. They're not like ARP studs or anything like that. So that's what these instructions are gonna be for, because the ARP studs are a little bit different. All right, so now that you've seen the sequence of how you do it, basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna do all of that to 22 foot-pounds. Then you're gonna go back and either mark the bolts or kind of like see the angle of either, because you don't really need to use a torque wrench after that, of your breaker bar. And you're gonna go 90 degrees for all of them, and then go back and do a 70-degree pass for every single one. Some people have electronic torque wrenches that actually show you the degrees. I don't have that, so we're basically gonna do it by kind of like, not really guessing, but I'm gonna mark the bolts or either just use the angle of the bar that I'm using. Okay, so everything's torqued down in the order that it needed to be. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the breaker bar and go through all the angles that need to be done. Right, so 90 degrees, basically just gonna pull this up till it's parallel with the cylinder head. Okay, 90 degree pass is done. Now 70 degrees. This one's gonna be a little harder to judge without that electric torque wrench to actually tell me where I'm at. So, I'm probably just gonna do the same thing I did for the 90, but just stop like about right here instead of being completely parallel. Kind of sucks. I really wish I had an electronic torque wrench. It makes it a lot better and more precise. But I think it will be good for what it is. This does get pretty difficult. I don't know if you guys know how torque yield bolts work, but you're basically stretching the bolt for it to seat itself properly. So it gets pretty tight. That's also why you need to use like some kind of lubrication, like Assembly Lube or oil, because all that friction eventually could snap the bolt. Like I said earlier, that's something you really just don't want to have to deal with. All right, so that's it for the main studs. After that, you just do these smaller bolts and all of these holes up here. Here's a better view of that. It's just these bolts up by the intake. The pattern for that is really easy. It's just a single pass on 22 foot-pounds. And it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so you guys saw me do the first side, so I'm gonna go ahead and just time lapse the second side. Yeah, so let's get started. So there you have it, the heads are on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and kind of try to play with the rocker arms. So putting the ones that I got on, or in order to put them on, they're actually adjustable. So once I put the push rods in, I'm gonna have to adjust where they sit to get the correct preload on the spring. Yeah, also make sure you put your caps on something that holds oil because stuff like this happens. So now that we have the push rods in, I'm gonna go ahead and set the kind of retainer for the rocker arms. And once that's in, the actual rocker arms are pretty much gonna be sitting on top like this. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the camera down because this kind of takes 2 hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see how this first one goes and decide how I wanna do this. These push rods are actually too long, which kind of sucks. and I couldn't adjust them to be where they need to. Alright, well, guess I'm gonna have to order new parts. So I did some research and I have the right size push rods. It's just the valve covers sit too low for the OEM ones, because that's what I was gonna use. As you saw, I had them like all nice and painted and ready to go, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna actually have to order aftermarket ones. I'm probably just gonna hold off on putting the rocker arms. I'm just gonna do a little bit more research on like setting spring preload and stuff like that, since they're adjustable, and then I'll probably get back to that in another video. Another thing, I just really wanted to thank NRG Innovations. They're actually gonna be sponsoring me on this build. So what they pretty much gave to me was this seat. It's SFI, so I can compete in Pro-Am. I had their older one that I'm just gonna put in the passenger seat, and it wouldn't have passed tech, so now I'm gonna be good. And they also gave me another SFI, well, it's actually, it says SFI, but it's FIA approved harness. So I'll be able to use both of these and pass tech, so I can actually start competing. Also, if you guys want anything from them, I'm gonna try to get like a discount code for you guys. They have like really cool steering wheels and stuff like that. Again, their seat is like, it's really high quality, it's super comfortable. And yeah, they also have the Halo version if you wanna get that. But I definitely suggest going with them just cause for the price, you can't really beat them. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. What's to come is this weekend, I'm gonna go check on my car with the roll cage and everything. And then I also wanna show you guys how you wanna set up the fuel system, since it's a little bit different on an older car compared to how the FRS works. And also I might do some welding and stuff like that when we're there. I don't know, we'll find some cool stuff to do. Another thing we're waiting on is the Collins adapter, so I can set up the transmission. Well, actually I have the adapter. I'm waiting for the bell housing, the LS1 bell housing to come in. Since I bought the wrong one, I'm just kind of waiting for the return so I can get the next one, or the right one. And then I'm also gonna have to get an LS1, or not an LS1, they're like adapter clutch kit. So the pressure plate and everything works from like a GTO, but the actual clutch, the splines, don't match up with the CD09 spline. So you gotta go with their like 11-inch adapter clutch. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet, and leave a like if I actually put my heads on right, which I hope I did. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just like comment or message me on Instagram. All right, well, thanks for watching. See you guys later.